As a woman, shopping has always been such a great hobby of mine, ever since I was little with my mom. From the latest styles to the most trendy colors of the season, I love it all. Yet I end up leaving the store with pieces of clothing I either have to alter or layer up. Why? Because of modesty. What is modesty? And how can we better express ourselves in the broken world we live in today? Let's take a step back and see what the Catechism of the Catholic Church in paragraph 1832 says. It states that the fruits of the Spirit are perfections that the Holy Spirit forms in us as the first fruits of eternal glory. That tradition of the Church lists 12 of them, including charity, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, generosity, gentleness, faithfulness, modesty, self-control, and chastity. Modesty is therefore a virtue, a fruit of the Holy Spirit. We can even refer to other parts of the Catechism as paragraph 2524, which states that the forms taken by modesty vary from one culture to another. Everywhere, however, modesty exists as an intuition of the spiritual dignity proper to man. It is born with the awakening of consciousness of being a subject. Teaching modesty to children and adolescents means awakening in them respect for the human person. Modesty is more than just what clothing we wear, but encompasses our speech and how we act as well. Since it is a virtue, it needs to be discerned. There is no set rule, since the Church is universal. As a summary of St. John Paul II's love and responsibility, he states that with modesty in dress, we should dress in a way that upholds the honor and dignity of both men and women. Now, all of fashion has changed from the time of Christ till now, and we can obviously see it change to where we don't use the same style of clothing that we did 2,000 years ago. But the one thing that should not change is the way you uphold and honor the dignity of yourself as well as those around you. Why, you ask yourself? Well, because you love God and therefore love your neighbor. If we look at the world we live in today, we can see how women can almost feel offended when the topic of modesty comes up, as if the body is evil and the cause of all our sin. The goodness of our body is never to blame for the lust in our hearts, as we either intend to be seen or as we perceive others. There is nothing immodest of the body itself. The body is so good, so beautiful, so holy. We protect and cover our bodies not because our bodies are bad. We cover them because they are so good. And we feel that need to protect our bodies from the degradation of lust. Remember, ladies, we are made in the likeness and image of God Himself. In Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2, St. Paul says, "Present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that you may discern the will of God, what is good, acceptable, and perfect." We also see in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19, St. Paul says, and I quote, "Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, which you have from God? You are not your own. You were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body." How we glorify God in our lives, not just by our clothing as women, but also in what we say and how we act, how we display ourselves, how we want to be seen. It's a disposition of the heart. Again, it is not something acquired. Rather, it needs to be discerned. When filled with the Holy Spirit, you make a choice to live a life with Christ, to be a Christian within the society we live in. And trust me, I know, it is not easy, but our love for God and for neighbor should be stronger. Can you tell me of one woman that doesn't like to dress up and get ready to go out? Whether it is to a dinner, a party, or when visiting God in the Eucharist at Mass? Well, when going to Mass, I make sure to wear clothing that will cover up my body in areas that should be covered, as respect to my own honor and dignity. Not wearing crop tops or low-cut shirts or short skirts. One big trend now that I have been dying to talk about is leggings. Ladies, we all want to be comfortable, but think of it this way. Do you really want to be looked at as an object? Do you want to be that woman that distracts a man and be his near occasion to sin? Leggings are made for workout or comfort, but how tight they are is basically like not wearing pants at all. You leave nothing covered since all is revealed. It's basically like a layer of skin, to be honest. I don't mean to offend anyone, but if you will wear leggings, at least wear a top that covers your behind or covers your midriff. Respecting and honoring the dignity of myself and that of others, not being the one who causes those around me to be the near occasion to sin, should be our goal as women in modesty. Some of us women were raised in an environment that may not understand the proper definition of modesty. But if we want to follow Christ in all ways we can and acquire the knowledge, or the proper knowledge of what modesty truly means, then it is up to you and I to make that call, to discern in our hearts on how we want to follow Christ, as well as lead others to Him. Modesty comes from the heart. It's not what you are wearing or saying or doing that defines it as immodest, but the intention from the heart of what you say, think, and the way you display yourself with what you wear. I understand that this may be a controversial topic, but it was done out of love and not judgment. I'm directing this to all of you ladies as if I would be saying it to my own self. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and share our channel with your friends and family. God bless.